Hi Pisces, welcome back to Wandering Magic. These are going to be your career and finance readings for January through March 2026. A little cleansing for you. By the way, I'm offering personal readings now, so you can check the description box for that. If you don't want one, maybe refer a friend. Anyway, the info's down there. Watch your sun, moon, and rising for any additional messages and supplement to what we're about to talk about now. So let's get into it. For Kipper, they just jumped right in. Sudden wealth and high honor. Now we'll say, this looks like it might be attached to a promotion. A promotion of sorts, or just being put in a position where it's setting you up for success. So if you don't have a structured corporate job, well, if you do, you're probably going to be offered something. If you don't, well, back to that one. You could also be just getting a raise, like time for a raise. And maybe it's like more than you think, or some kind of bonus or something like that. And if you don't have a structured corporate job, then this is you getting, this is you getting, like if you're more entrepreneurial, this is you getting more clients, or you are getting more exposure. And so with that, you get essentially more money. Because high honor is just also about being recognized and really making a name for yourself. People know who you are in the next couple months. They are name dropping like crazy. Like, oh, did you see Pisces? She's doing, or he's doing this, and this. And your name is just really getting put out there. And it's like this, I almost want to say like the sudden fame, but it's just that your name is being dropped so many times, or it's being mentioned to other people, that people want to meet you. They want to know who you are. They have heard of you, but maybe they haven't seen you yet. They haven't seen you work. They haven't seen, you around. And they're like, who's this Pisces that everyone's talking about? Yeah, so with that, you have patience. So patience tells me January might not be the time, because this is taking place over the course of 3 months. So January might not be the time where you see this. And because of the slow going of it, you might not see what is there, and what is coming rather. And so patience is telling you to just hold on to faith and optimism. And I feel like your state of mind during these next 3 months are really important. I mean, your birthday's at the end of the 3 months. We're in Pisces season for sure, in February as well. So, really just hang in there. I feel like everyone is just getting a gift from the universe during their birthday. Like, you're my last sign. And I feel like there's so many signs already that I've said this for, where you're getting something around your birthday. So look for the gifts, because it feels almost unbelievable is what it feels like. It feels like, oh wow, I didn't expect that at all, or I didn't it's just like this element of surprise. And I think it's because it almost happens suddenly, because like, as patient as you're trying to be, it feels like you almost, like, just when you lose hope, that's when something happens, if that makes sense. But like when you're expecting it, it's just not happening fast enough. So that's that. Your tarot messages are the Four of Swords, the Queen of Wands in reverse, and then you have this Knight of Pentacles here. So with this Four of Swords, I am getting a bit of patience coming through with this one, but it's also like like the sit and wait. Just wait. It's almost like building this momentum for what's to come. Now, we have this Queen of Wands in reverse as well. And, you know, she's a boss. You know, just because she's in reverse doesn't mean she's not the boss. But I will say, be careful with what you are putting out there. Be careful with what you tell yourself. Be careful of what your thoughts are, because I feel like with this negative, there's like this underlining pessimism. There's this underlining like this icky. You know what I just saw? Like a green smoke, or like, but it's not even like a smoke. It's like a you know, like in cartoons when like there's like a pile of trash and then like you could see smoke coming out of it. Like that's kind of what I'm seeing, but it's green, so it's icky. It's gross. So be careful with that, because there's supposed to be this reward that's coming. And if you continue to look at things in the negative side of the light, like in the shadow, then you'll constantly be in the shadow. However, if you say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to be patient, I'm going to put faith into this, it's going to work out. I just know it. And it's like, it's really like, if you're having a problem trusting yourself, I think first you need to ask the universe, how do I get this trust? Can you help me figure out how I can trust? But, you know, you have to be careful, because you don't want to tell the universe, I don't trust you. You know, that's the thing is, you know, your guides and everybody, they just want everything. You deserve everything good. And so just because things aren't working out, or just because you think things can't work out, it doesn't mean that it won't. Okay? We do have this Mercury's in Capricorn, which is about focus and practical thinking, right? So it's a double-edged sword for a Pisces, I think, because the practical thinking could be you saying that something is not realistic, and maybe that might be you in your Pisces mode. You know, there's something about Pisces that obviously there's this like the imagination runs wild, and it's a really beautiful thing, because it means that you can imagine things that just are not there, right? Which is beautiful. But there's a difference between being able to see something and manifesting something, as opposed to being a little bit delusional about it. So I would say just be careful with that. But anyway, you just can't see everything right now, and that's okay. That's okay. It's going to be okay. Why? Because we have this slow and steady with this Knight of Pentacles. This guy is so calculated with his moves, and you know what? And he's facing these two cards. He's like, listen, I'm gonna carry us on this horse, and we're just gonna go. We're gonna coast. And so you just have to be very patient. Again, the Knight of Pentacles is very patient, and he is okay with things going slow and then building momentum, because he knows he's on this journey that comes a point where if I go too quick, I'm going to run out of breath, and then I can't go on anymore. And so it's just about exactly that, just being very calculated. You'll know when it's time to move fast with this Eight of Wands. And this Three of Pentacles in reverse is saying, you know, you might not see it right now. You're going to think this is not working. But this is very much so a mind over matter. Mind over matter. Because you have this Ace of Swords here. Now, you know, someone got the Ace of Swords earlier, and I never noticed that about this deck. But instead of the hand holding the sword by the handle, it's holding it by the blade. There's what I'm getting for you in this one. I don't remember what I said in the other reading, but I feel like what I'm getting with you is this determination. It's almost like your mind is going wild, and then you almost like, in your mind is in this metaphor, it's the sword, right? And it almost falls, but you catch it and you're like, no, I got it. And you don't even, like, it doesn't even hurt, you know? You're holding on to it and you're like, I got this. And that's what I want you to really hold on to. And I want you to understand, like, you got this. You also have the Death card here in reverse. Do we have any other signs? Because I was about to say Scorpio. Wondering if you have Scorpio in your chart. But again, I feel like, which is an interesting thing for you, because I don't think, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, if you're a Pisces, I don't think that Pisces are very like black and white, meaning it has to be this way or this way. But if you are in that state of mind, it does not have to be, like, you don't have to use that approach. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. It doesn't have to be one or the other. I feel like you need to be reminded that two things can exist at the same time. And I also feel like sometimes you feel like things are out of reach. And they might be temporarily, but it's not always the case. I'm also getting, see the big things in the small blessings. I don't know if that was for someone specific, but that's what I have with that. Okay. For your oracle message, you have candlelight, but it's in reverse. And candlelight talks about, burnout, being tired, or you're in the dark. Now, you could be stretching yourself thin. You could be overdoing or overworking something. But at the same time, I was more focused on in the dark. And I feel like when you're in the dark, that is this patient period. And that is the intentional part of being in the dark or the shadow right now. And then, notes from the universe. It says, no two flowers are the same, yet all are beautiful in their own way. And then in the back, it says, comparisons are odious because they presume all other things are equal, which is never the case between me and you, the universe. Oh, cute. I love these cards. Watch your sun, moon, and rising for any additional messages, and I'll see you next time.